Hey guys, welcome to Rhymes Times Thoughts. I mean, it's pretty cool. I know, yes, it might have been a while since I made the last talk. We all know a lot of things are happening, right? As you well know, we still are dealing with COVID-19. It also gave us opportunity, I think, to go back in time, remind us of the good things with others, and even maybe the bad things as well. But I notice as well, I'm sure you guys notice that you're starting to see a lot of people on RVs, fifth wheels, Class A's, etc. on the road. You probably also see them at campsites and other places as well. Some places even, for sales wise, they sold almost 35% than they ever sold before. It's kind of made sense, I think. Think about social distancing, right? That's a key thing that we're dealing with right now. Not worried about hotels, if they're clean or not. That's a big thing. Also, I think some people really enjoy having their own bathroom. I sure do, because you don't have to worry about that anymore. I think the biggest people like myself are downsizing into a fifth wheel. Um, a lot of convenience. I mean, my wife was on board right away. I mean, she did research for 3 years, all that, and then she let me pick my own, pick the RV just to make me feel like, I guess, being part of it. I picked out the Jayco Pinnacle. Yes, I was not. It was not easy for myself. I mean, really, I'm being honest. It wasn't easy for myself to be on board with my wife.
Say what?
I don't know why it took so long now. But I guess growing up, the biggest thing is you're supposed to have the big house, your own house. You That's the biggest thing. But then I thought about who really owns my house. The bank does, so that's 30 years. But really, I think the key things that we think about, what? Pulling your driveway, your own driveway, having company spend the night, family, friends, putting up with Christmas lights, mowing the yard, grooming it. I really enjoy that. And just try and keep everything green. But how did we get there? How do we fix it? We even social distance by building big fences between our neighbors. I mean, think about that. So looking back, it seems kind of strange that it took me this long. It's not a bad, but over times, how many visitors actually came visit me? My daughter moved to Colorado. My son moved to Arizona. My sister-in-law's in Sacramento. My brother's in Arizona and Colorado. They all have families and so forth. So how often do they really come out? Not that really. I mean, truthfully. So me and my wife bought a fifth wheel. And the crazy thing is we bought it before COVID-19. But, I mean, think about it. We put our house up in March and COVID-19 hit. I mean, that's kind of crazy. That was really scary. I mean, really scary. It really. Stand at the stay-at-home order effect. I mean, nobody come see our house if you really think about. But I think after got over that, we had a great real estate agent, Wendy Carmarco, Allison James over in Stockton, but she did something incredible. She thought outside the box and pulled it off during that time. I mean, people couldn't come see our house, so they had to see it online. And we had over almost 10,000 people look at our house. And when that little moment, that window that people were able to come see our house, 3 people saw it, and we had an offer that same day. So I think we got pretty lucky. But over the years, my wife did some great researches on the fifth wheel. She followed RV living. She had a lot of YouTube things and just watch it and watch it. I think I was really lucky. Um, my wife did that. Um, but that was the great thing. But the biggest thing I want to really talk about is, I mean, the when we first went in there, the biggest thing is how are we going to socialize? How are we going to do this? But the crazy thing is, when me and my wife first scoped out our first place that we looked at a couple places for the fifth wheel. But it's crazy if you really think about. I didn't realize how friendly people are. People are so friendly that when we first pulled up, they pretty much they pulled up. It was kind of crazy, but what kind of people live in? Um, I travel fifth wheel, all that. I know I talked in the past, but maybe you didn't hear it. People that I've been doing it for years are friendly from all sorts of the walk of, or you have traveling nurses, you have military people who are so the military, you have physical therapists, you have welders, and I think all those are customer service fields, don't you think? So yes, some might even want to get out of California, save money. I found out, and they're having houses built in different states, or some are still staying in California. But the crazy thing is, we found a nice, safe RV spot, even better. We found it in the same city, French um, Camp Resort, RV Resort in Manteca, where we actually lived. Never knew about it really. I mean, we probably learned about the golf course, but then when it wasn't around anymore. But what a find! And it was the in the same city. But the crazy thing you think about, people ran when we first got there. Literally, it felt like people ran into the street right away, off the offers to help us put our fifth wheel in our spot. Welcome us like almost like the old days with your um, with their arms open. It brought back my childhood when people did not judge you, loads and beliefs, and they all work with each other. I mean, crazy if you think about things you could have a really big conversation because you know how what's going on right now. Have a really big conversation, even intense at sometimes, and still in and still stay friends. But you guys starting to notice that people can't even do that these days. So I looked out, so basically I just want to do this really talk of really how things change from good to bad, how people are making life changing situations with COVID-19, and also before COVID-19, what people had done to survive, make great living, and build up their retirement. But I think it's just kind of unique RV living full time. And I think it's kind of unique and kind of cool. But I will also give you a little more flair. I don't have maybe somebody in fifth wheel RV been doing wild talk, but maybe on my next podcast, my YouTube and next podcast, I will tell you stories about that. But in the meantime, I'd say this: have experience with a home and now fifth wheel, living in a fifth wheel, been doing for 6 months. I think everybody should really think twice about that. I mean, think about if you have mortgages that was in 2,400 a
Oh
month,
my God.
and then you had your bills that you had to pay your AT&T bill, you had to pay your PG, you had to
Oh
pay
my
your gas to
God.
go work, all that. How much can you really save? Literally buying a fifth wheel, buying a truck, travel all over, and literally that me and my wife were able to just give you a little taste. We were able to take 20% out of our paycheck directly into our 401k. I mean, who is able to sustain a normal life situation in that? So I want to just take this time to let you enjoy my conversation, enjoy what I was talking about, and really give you a better understanding. Maybe think outside the box. Wouldn't that be cool, being able to talk to your neighbor and not worry about it? Wouldn't that be cool walking through maybe an RV park somewhere and everybody waves to you? Isn't that cool that they even have their own web page just for RVs? And if you ever thought about that, I think it's a really cool experience. So I want to take this opportunity just to talk about that, let you listen to my thoughts, and then we're going to really talk about my net segment, show you more clips, and who know what I talk about. But maybe I stick with this for a while. maybe interview some people. But I hope you enjoyed my talk, and I hope you follow me on my podcast, Rhymes Times Thoughts. Hope you follow me on my YouTube channel, Rhymes Times Thoughts. You could even pop in and see me and my wife are slowly doing Rhymes Times Adventures um, 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 on our YouTube channel. But we're starting, I don't start clicking there, but I want to say thank you. And I want you all take in, understand, reassess, and what is the best value for you. And then maybe do research for our YouTube channel and so forth and see what works for you. But I want to tell you this is Rhymes Times Thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. If you're following me on YouTube, make sure you press like, subscribe, and of course maybe make comments. Or if you're on my Twitter account, Rhymes Times Thoughts as well. Um, actually, it's um, my YouTube is Rhyme Times Thoughts. Tune in. Just have some fun. Say hello. Tell me some topics that you might want to discuss or do research. Because my career path, working at a university, and also just life alone. But like I said, thank you again. Rhymes Times Thoughts. Woo-hoo. I'm out.